Brakate Hawa, Brakate Awashai, Brakate Hawa, Brakate Awashai, Brakate Hawa, Brakate Awashai, Kabashim Yashai Bashim, Achakadash, Brakia, 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 Brakia. Let us know if we have sound and everything.
I hear it.
We all good?
You got it? Okay, Khan, Shalom, Shalom. And we are the brothers of the Great Millstone, a branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honors unto the apostles, double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers, you know, to the scattered that are scattered among the heathen that look like the heathen, and to those few akwaf that are listening and learning, you know. And I'm just gonna say this, man. We rejoice. We among the brothers that are in this truth. Well, at least among the great millstone, which I think are the true prophets of the Lord. We're rejoicing in these hard times because you know you got camps out there that's been teaching there ain't no Jacob's trouble, you know. But we're rejoicing in the misery of that America is starting to go through, especially Edomite America. You know, is very, you know, it gives us great pleasure, like Pops would say, to see these you know, these Edomites suffering and complaining like they are. You know, I had one of my clients who, and this is gonna be the second time that he got to millionaire status and lost it all.
Wow.
You know, so he ready to commit suicide, man. All right, some Edomite just jumped to his death from Trump Tower. All right, I'm like, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, fool, you still living in Trump Tower? What, like, you know, how bad can it be? You know, you still can afford to live in Trump Tower. You know, but nevertheless, you know, they downplay that shit, you know, because that happens a lot in Chicago, you know, downtown among the luxury apartments and condos. Yeah, a lot of people become street pizza, exactly.
And they don't report it.
Right, they don't. Yeah, there's a media blackout on it. They don't report that often. It actually probably have to happen live on camera in front of people for them to actually report on it. But they never report on those. And and that's also so that they don't kill the real estate
There you go.
Industry down there because they're trying to protect that because it's going to be hard to sell a multi-million-dollar condo when, you know, when people know that somebody swan dived out of it. But yeah, we're rejoicing in the destruction of this place, and just as our Lord said, can somebody get Habakkuk 2, like 1 through 3, real quick before we.
There's Habakkuk 2 and 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
And it's not lying, man. I mean, it is really going forward, man. It's going forward. It is, and not only the financial situation, but everything else, because you also have that spirit of rebellion that's building in America. You got Americans that are ready to actually fight against their government and go against we have a very crooked, unrighteous government that's ruling over us, and Americans have bent over and allow entities to operate in America which actually go against the Constitution. But I think that the IRS and the Federal Reserve being one of them, those are unconstitutional. They're not a part of our judicial system. They're not a part of the structure that's set up, the three branches of government, and yet they control policy for all three. Nobody voted for anybody in the Fed. Nobody voted for anybody in the IRS. All right. What's another thing that Americans have allowed to do, which violates the Constitution, is the fact that we have a fiat currency that we don't trade in gold and silver. All right. Those are things that they should have burned down the White House for. All the politicians involved in that should have been brought to trial and hung publicly before the people. You know, it's supposed to be we the people first, but Americans have ignored that, and now people, especially with people not being able to feed themselves, and you know, Narazaki just did a video about some Edomite who went on a shooting rampage and killed a judge. You know, he just murked the judge, which probably deserved it. I can only imagine how many people he unrighteously sent to prison and destroyed their lives with unrighteous decrees. But he put this judge to death, and then it turns out that he had a whole hit list of other political people that he wanted to take out too. All right, and you know, so and that story also is real fishy. You know that it could be just further propaganda, false flags, so that they can push gun control because that's what they want to do. Because I was just downtown, and I was watching a protest of the Ukrainians. It was a small protest. I tried to get it on camera. I don't know. Satan just wouldn't let it happen. I was trying to put it on camera and just do a talk over while it was happening. But I ended up using, the aftermath of it anyway and doing a lesson. But basically, most of the people had signs that said, "Arm Ukraine now." So America keeps sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. I think this is the second time they did it, and they want to arm them, but yet they're trying to disarm Americans.
Right.
All right. So wait a minute. You want to send automatic weapons to kill these people, but you want to take them away from, and there got to be checks and balances.
Right.
And there is no checks and balances in America.
And if they did it 3 times already, what you done with all these billions and billions of arms?
Because it ain't making it
33
supposed to.
Excuse me?
33 billion the first time, then they proposed about 13 billion the second time. I don't know what.
And they just did another 40 billion.
God damn.
So
what you gonna do for $70 billion?
And that's why these people are so mad. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna let these scriptures
I
go.
was trying to be nice and say
Hold
7.
on, brother. That was a soldier, a former soldier, and the soldier just said something that was really legitimate. He said, "Look, with that amount of money, you got all these veterans who are highly qualified for security. That you can put 2 veterans in every school in America. You got the money to do it. If you can send 40 billion, 33 billion, and 13 billion, and 40 billion. You have the money to finance this. You could put 2 veterans in every school in America and armed, and you could also put armed veterans as bus drivers to take these kids. So you got you got an armed bus driver for security.
That's right.
All right, and you got 2 security officers. Ain't nobody running up in those schools.
Right.
If you do, but they don't really care about children and kids. It's all a lie. It's all a facade. This destruction of the middle class and destruction of America, it's all Daniel 8:25. It's all being done purposely,
And we rejoicing.
and we are rejoicing. Bring it out. Bring it out.
This Lamentations
I got a
1.
couple too. I got one.
This Lamentations 1, and I'm gonna start at 20. Behold, O Yahweh, if I am in distress, my bowels are troubled, my heart is turned within me. I have grievously rebelled, abroad the sword of grievous, at home there is his death. So as Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, we've been suffering, right? We've been going through hell. I'm gonna keep going. They have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me, so these heathens don't give a shit about us. All right? They pray for Paris. We got to stop the racial violence against the Asians. Meanwhile, we've been getting fucked up here in America for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
All right?
Now all of a sudden they fucked up. Now it's all of a sudden it's we.
Right. Crazy. All my enemies they all got pity, but not us. All my enemies have heard of my trouble. They are glad that thou hast done it. They was happy at us, right? Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me. For all my transgressions, for my sides are many, and my heart is faint. So we rejoicing, that's the whole gospel, Isaiah 61. Hearing the comfort of the words of the Lord, that we're going to be saved, and our enemies are going to be taken down. This is our salvation.
Right.
So as Jeremiah, in the midst of crying, he's lamenting.
Right.
In the middle of lamenting, what's part of his comfort is one day bring the judgment that we going through upon our enemies.
Yes.
Bring them down to a lower state. Bring violence to their doors. Make them have Edom on Edom crime. Make them fuck each other up.
And that's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening, and that's part of my prayer nightly. I always pray for the Lord to destroy their wealth, their health, and their hope.
Yep.
And that's exactly what's happening.
That's right.
I got that, Daniel.
I got it.
This is Daniel 8:25. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
And so through these $1 billion packages to Ukraine, all right, which the narrative has changed because they've been bragging about all the loss of Russian soldiers and death over there, but magically the Russians have taken over all the food and control and all the food and the transportation of food and the energy in Ukraine. But I thought they were down and losing. So now the narrative is changing in the media too. You can't trust this damn media, man. They're liars, all right? But through that policy, they're destroying American way of life, and they're hurting. They're also hurting and destroying their European partners. So we all can see how the nations that have the whole hate the war thing is building up.
Oh yeah.
All in the guise of peace and being the cop of the world for so-called peace.
Yep, that's that Wisdom Solomon too. Let the law of justice be our strength.
Yep.
Now that's they pull, man. So, well, let's protect the world. We gotta sanction Russia, and then you fucking up gas for Europe. You fucking up food for the world. Our teachers did a whole article about how the food crisis been basically full steam ahead. They just pushed forward even harder because of these new set of sanctions.
Yep.
All right, the wheat and all that shit that come. I mean, not wheat. Fertilizer, the water, all that shit. Russia's a big producer.
Russia's collecting up all that food that was supposed to be getting shipped everywhere, and they're sending it to their partners. You're right. So the Chinese are getting fed.
Thank you.
India's getting, the BRICS countries are getting fine. Brazil,
Yeah.
but all the EU is starting. They lacking now. So and not only top of that, the American media was announcing how Russia is doing so bad, but the ruble is way up there with the yuan. And guess what? The other nations are actually, including EU and NATO nations, are purchasing
Russian
stuff
gas.
with the Russian ruble.
And not only the gas and so forth, but the wheat and so forth, because Russia is huge in many agricultural and in gas and energy fields. Not let alone many other fields. You can't go to a country that's been over there in the European area that's been dibbing and dabbing and dealing with other countries. America deals with different countries, and Russia deals with different countries. All these countries deal with different countries and trades and so forth. What you all have done, this is why you all don't know Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. He's been luring all of y'all into his plan. This will be World War III, and nothing you can do to stop it.
And all the small conflicts that will happen within each nation as it builds up, man. All right, the dissidents and the insurrections, all right. There's all going to happen, and Americans have been, you docile them down, soy diets and shit, but that's starting to have no effect on them anymore. These Americans are actually ready to raise up and do harm to their leaders, man, and that Edomite who just killed that judge and had that hit list for these other politicians, he's just an evidence and proof of that, man. And he's not alone. All right, whether it be set up or not, that sentiment, you gotta remember what the militia tried to do to that judge the governor of Michigan. What their plan was. So this sentiment is growing, man. And something about Grandmaster Jay just got found guilty of some shit too.
Yeah.
Pointing the gun in that rally, whatever, he pointing the gun at a police officer. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. All right, so the damn KKK been marching, and militias and redneck and racist militias been marching and pointing guns for fucking decades, and none of them ever got arrested.
A nigga do it.
But okay, but you know what? That could be set up. It could be real. Either way, that's what the fuck you get for being a sellout, for being a COINTELPRO, helping to lead. And another thing too, you women with these platforms, y'all just need to shut the fuck up. All right, you women with all these royal family shit and all this other, y'all just need to stop being wicked and let the men do what they do, man. All right, I commented on somebody's video, actually trying to help her, and their minds were so small that they perceived what I said to be. And it was like, oh, we got to infiltrate her, and somebody got rid of my...
Oh, they roasted you out?
Yeah, and I was like, damn, I just co-signed what she said and helped her, but it went over her head.
It came from man.
Yeah, it went over...
Stop mansplaining.
It went over her head, so... Yeah, the Lord, hey, you women talking about, and the Spirit came to you. No, it didn't. The Spirit of the Lord is not coming to no woman to get on the platform to speak to our people. That's not true. That's not scriptural. That's not biblical. That's not the way the Lord set it up. All right. The fold of the Lord's fold is men. All right, roughly paraphrased. All right, it's men, not women. The prophets, ain't no prophetesses getting visions and getting, getting prophecy breakdowns to go break down,
Right,
man.
they ain't getting interpretation.
They ain't getting interpretation like that. That's not scriptural, man. All right.
I got 2 Ezra 6:22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." And basically, like the brother said, man, all these things are gonna ultimately come to a shelf near you. The gas prices, all that, because by the time it gets to the consumer, it's already gonna have a price tag, like gas. By the time you need it or have to refill it, there's gonna be a higher price tag on it. And this is just regular inflation. There's hyperinflation
Right.
that speeds it up even quicker.
And you got wealthy people complaining about that. You got, what's his one of my favorite fighters, man. He's a rich man at this point. From his George Masvidal was just complaining about the gas in Miami, man. And he's he's a high paid athlete, man. You talking about a guy who gets millions per fight at this point. That's why he doesn't fight as much as as he did in the past, because his paydays are so big. They try to
Rest in between.
yeah, but but nevertheless, man, when you got people like that complaining about your everyday living, all right, St. Benji was talking, sent me this video with this woman was showing how to this Edomite woman who the world would ignorantly and foolishly refer to as white people. That's a false construct, made up narrative that they self-proclaim themselves white. They are the biblical Edomites, and there's nothing white, there's nothing pure about them at all. They're actually, they got their red pinkish flesh. So and all you gotta do is turn on high definition TV to see that. They're not white at all. Yeah, high definition is the enemy to so-called white people, because it clearly shows you that they're not white. But they're trying to stretch food because they're struggling. All right, so does and what has been proven here in America, I don't know about other places in the world, but here in America, it has been proven that Edomites collectively don't handle stress or struggle very well.
Right.
They usually result to violence, or they result to self-destruction. They either go kill other people or they kill themselves.
It says in Genesis 25, it said the younger should be stronger than the elder.
Nah. One should be stronger
than the other.
One should be stronger than the other. We know that's talking about Jacob.
Right, and Jacob is strong. Jake know how to stretch meals and shit. Esau used to eat a new meal every damn day and shit.
Yeah, well, you got Edomites that don't believe in they don't need leftovers and never heard of that.
Yeah.
Like that's poor people shit.
That's it.
Yeah, the doggy bag thing. It was
Yeah.
really for their dogs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, that's what it came.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, the doggy bag is leftover.
Yeah, to Jake, we took a doggy bag to take and eat it for ourselves later. They literally took it for their dogs. That's why it's called a doggy bag.
Ain't that some shit?
It's more on that second address, brother.
Right. Khan is verse 23. It says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid." It says, "At the time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in the fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run."
And that's what time we're in, man. These people are, like, one of my favorite ones is Luke. It says they are perplexed. All right, they're in awe, they're in fear, man. They don't know what to do next. All right, when we, like Elder Malcolm mentioned in that video, you go up to the comment sections, these Edom, and it's all Edomites. You see the profile pictures.
Yeah, we got to read some of
It's
them.
Edomites, man. They really don't know what to do. They saying it is going to get worse next year. I've been buying, I buy the 60 count eggs for years. It's been $3, $4. Last 3-4 months, the bitch said it went up to $13. They really losing it. They don't know what to do. And this ain't gonna be like the Great Depression. All right, nah, it ain't gonna be that smooth, man. All right, listen, when the Lord is taking even the rich man down.
Yeah.
All right, there's Edomites with millions that's losing it.
Yeah.
These people, the investments they made, is going down the drain, man.
Yeah.
No.
That's like Johnny Mack. I told you my client Johnny Mack, man. He's like ready. He's like I give up. I don't know what else to do. I give up. You know, and he live in that 1225 Wells in that luxury high-rise apartment right there in Wells in Old Town, man. And he's like, I'm not safe around here. You know, every time I get in my car, I got these guys driving all fast in these fast-ass cars, smoking that shit that's not real weed, and you know, and you say something to them, they cut you off, and you flip them the finger, they're pulling guns on you. He didn't have people pull guns on him. He afraid, man. You know, you remember when that car that ran up on the sidewalk on Oak Street last summer? Yeah, that shit almost hit him.
Damn.
He was there, so he been fucked up ever since. Cause the car came up on the curb and he tried to jump out the way and ran into a pole and fucked his shoulder up. About knocked himself out. The car crashed and he crashed. You know? So, you know, he just but I told him, man, you're not alone. A lot of people feeling like you, but he's ready to like run away and hide in Maine and shit. He's like, I want to go back to Maine, man. I don't even like it up there, but them fucking rednecks in the you know, up in the woods, you know, he living in cabins with because he's like, I take the little money I got left and buy me a cabin next to a river and just fish every day. But that's his mindset. He's like, shit, because I can't afford, you know, he losing everything. Again.
The smart thing to do.
You know?
I mean, it ain't going to last long.
It ain't going to last long.
It's better than what you're dealing with. This is Isaiah 10 and 14. This Edom speaking. And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathered eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. And there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peep. So at one point, like it says in Revelation, Edom conquered the world. The nation said, who can make war with the beast? The beast being Edom, the EU, all right, and America's the whore that rose the beast, right?
Yep.
Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should take itself against them that lift it up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as it were no wood. All right, the Lord did this, all right? Edom, you got great because the Lord raised you up. All right, see, this is different from the depression, for the simple fact that the depression, that was Esau manipulating shit to gain more control. Right. Now you're actually losing things, man. The Lord, you know, Esau want to come with the chip, of course, but that's just a solution to change the fact that the dollar's going out the window.
Right, and his plans are backfiring, and he's getting more and more. He's getting more and more throwback from every decision that he makes, and negative throwback.
Yeah.
You even had Jamie Dimon just come out and say how prepared for a hurricane, man. He's like he was telling this to a room full of economists and bankers, man.
And that's that Ecclesiastes 12, man. Them the keepers of the house, man. They're mourning, and a huge part is, the weak are saying they're strong, man. These other nations been building up their gold reserves. All right, they want to be next. China, even though it's not gonna happen, China want to be next, man. So they really against this system, man. They're against America, man. And that's the Lord. What's the next line say? The Lord did all this, right? Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness. Under his glory he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. Edom, you got fat with the riches of the earth, but the Lord is sending leanness upon you. Your economy's going down the drain. The world ain't just gonna let you run through their resources like you used to. I ain't just control everything. You slap a sanction, send some economic hit, man. That's all changing, man. You're through, America. You're done in the face of the company, man.
The Lord put curses on their ass, said thinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Because Esau just trying to find his way out, trying to go this way, back way, forward way, side way. No, man. All right, Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See
what
now,
scripture you just read, brother, about Salaki?
That was Isaiah 10. I started at verse 14 and ended at verse 16.
Go ahead.
Okay, Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I am he, there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So there's no escape, Esau. All right, you can try to get a little cabin. You can try to convert. Now they convert school buses into homes and shit. what you gotta run the school with gas. All right, so you can't get that, Esau. I don't give you a chance to try to get water. The water gonna get cut off.
Hey, the brother just read it. It said the water should still for what?
Shall
3
stand
hours?
still. Yep.
Right. And all that is all, especially if Esau really hit that, or whoever, the EMP get hit, whatever may happen.
Yeah, they keep talking
The
about
water's all on the electrical grid now.
God.
Esau, in all his genius, he put everything on the fucking electrical grid, man. That's the dumbest. The gas on electrical grid now, man. That's dumb as fuck, man. That's the Isaiah 19, man. You shall err in every work thereof, and the drunk man stumble in his own vomit, man.
Hey, just like Starscream said in the Transform, there's no escape. So you can't escape Esau, man.
Through.
Yahweh ran him up into a corner now. Like you said, they put everything on the electric. So when he decides that it's over with, let's shut the electric down. God, shut it down. God don't try to accomplish that new world order.
Simple as hell. Shemai, you got something? You said something?
Real quick, Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
All right, and that's going into, of course, we start up with, just start up with what that for the whole black horse segment.
Revelation 6:5. And when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
And that word balances goes into yoke, yoke of iron. So when Edom, the red horse, got unleashed, what he do? He put us into slavery. All right, and to this day we're in captivity, and we had to go to Esau for the one of all things. So we bought our bread and our water by ounces and pounds. But then there's more to it. Keep going, because it goes to the measurements. The fact you got to pay for everything, but it gets specific when it says a penny. Go ahead.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right,
so that's called hyperinflation, because a penny in the Greek, when you go in the Latin Roman times, represent a day's wage. Yeah. We all know the fact. Well, I can't assume we all know it, but it's a very famous picture from World War II. The wheelbarrow full of the German.
I think we've all seen
Dutch
that.
marks.
Everybody in this room, anyway.
Right, because the apostles went into it. The Dutch marks off. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. And that was for 1 loaf of bread. A wheelbarrow of Dutch marks for
for a loaf of bread.
For 1 loaf of bread. That's called hyperinflation, man.
So that means that was a very wealthy man. So the person who just had a handful of one stack, they was
Used to wipe his butt with.
Right.
Basically, just like what happened.
Yeah, that was good fire tender. Well, at least we can start a fire to stay warm.
What happened 2 years ago when I believe it's Zebulon? What fucking name is the modern country?
In Venezuela.
Venezuela. That's exactly what happened. They was making purses out of the fucking. It became useless. They're making purses out of the paper money, man.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you had female doctors and scientists that were selling their box for sandwiches. Right?
Love a good deal.
They were selling their box for sandwiches, man. You were strong. You were strong and independent a minute ago. Right. You was a big time scientist. You were a doctor. You know, you gonna be like that chick on the train, mouthing and not even saying it. Help me, because this dude got you by your hair and told you to sit down. You tried to get up, and he pulled ass, told her to sit down. Right, and she looking at all the other people on there, help me, and none of the men, nobody on there went to help her. All right, nobody went to help her. But it's like, why should we? Man, if I go to help you, then I might get called a toxic male or something. Like what? Oh, you just assume I need your help? I'm sorry. Yeah, because these bitches are crazy, man.
Right. Yeah.
It's a law that can help me now.
Right. So.
Where were all the strong, independent women there helping her?
Yeah, because there was a lot of women. Hell, the little Moabite chick, when the dude sat down on that, soon as he sat down on the other side of her, she got up and left.
She knew.
She left him. She was like, shit, well, he go right, let him. She was glad that old girl was there. And she was like, shit. He was like, God, well, good. Well, sucks for her.
Right.
Right. You know, she the bitch that's running, you know, trying to get to the door with the zombies behind her. and you get to the door first, and you turn around and just shut the door on her.
Right.
It didn't even let her in or nothing. Just like fuck it, she just shut the door and lock it.
Hey, that'll slow them down. They can deal with her.
Right, exactly. Sucks to be you, because that's exactly what happened, man.
Your
So-
sacrifice is appreciated.
God, because it's gonna, you know, hey, and I've been saying that and prophesying that for years, man. How you women gonna be snatched up and chained up in the basement somewhere to a pipe next to a mattress. And that's
It already happened in
Found one
England.
like that.
and it just happened here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And instances like that would happen on that train. They want women gonna be getting pulled right off those trains and escorted to their basement, to their chain and their pipe and their mattress. And that thing that's gonna be a normal thing as this the place begins to decay. That movie came back around that we watched a couple years ago. The elder Apostle Gabar just did a lesson on that movie, the Blackout.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And because I was like, what? Then when I went and looked it up and I watched it, and it was the one that we watched a couple years ago. But now it's circling around through the Brotherhood again.
The American Blackout?
No, it's called Blackout. It's just called Blackout, and it happens in New York.
Yeah.
And the thing and with the
What happens in a blackout?
the two inmates that were just raping and killing women. Yeah, you know,
Mayhem.
it was complete mayhem. And the one guy, he knew what was up. He was telling all the people, you know, and he was like, look, man, y'all need to get y'all minds right. He said, because them people from the big cities, they're coming. And the guy's like, you know, well, we're 100 miles from the city. He said, they ain't got no food, they coming this way, man.
That's it.
And so he went home while they all, you know, got their heads up their ass. He went home and started boarding up his windows. And he had been prepping all along. He had all kind of food and shit, you know. Because the thing, what's happening now is that, I'm going to tell you what's going on in America. What's going on in America is that all the people who are anti-conspiracy are starting to look real stupid. All right? The so-called conspiracy theorists had it right on almost everything. From medical to food. Almost everything that the so-called conspiracy people were saying, according to all you dumbass people with all your high education and believe in the media, the conspiracy people keep getting W's, and all the people who are scoffing so-called conspiracy keep getting L's. All right? Somebody just sent me a video where you sent it to me, I think. Somebody sent me a video where some goof-ass flat earther proved that the earth went flat with his own experiment, and then got quiet when he said, well, you know, basically, he was looking stupid, because what happened was, he said, well, if what they're saying is true, basically what he did was he cut a couple holes in even planes in a wall, and the thing was to shine a light through the holes, and where the guy was going to represent the bend in the earth, where the guy on the other end was. And he said, so the light should come, so the light that the guy on the other end is shining through should come all the way through to me through my holes. All right? So you got all these walls that are lined up with all these holes that are cut exactly the same height, same size, everything. But the guy on the other end put his light through, and none of the light was coming through. And he said, now what would make it, now the only way that it would prove that it was curved, if he had to actually hold the light up high over his head for me to see it. And guess what ended up happening? The light, when he shined the light through, it disappeared. And so he had to adjust the light for the guy to see it, and then that proved that it was a curvature. And so he cut himself. And so, so all the flat earthers got quiet. You know?
Channel 9 is actually doing, they have this segment now where it's called Medicine is Sick, where they actually have these nurses declaring that because they're short-staffed and all that, they're taking leaves of absence just for them not to retire, because everybody's fragmented from what they're getting from the higher ups to the actual nurses that basically, you know, are not with the shits, and they're taking leaves of absence just for them not to retire or quit or switch trades. So there's actually now people speaking against the medical industry of how it's fragmented between what the government is telling them to do and between these actual nurses that is in their spirit to serve, to look out for the people. And they're basically saying, like, look, we're taking leaves of absence because for the last year, all we've done is work hoping that everything would go back, that everything we were told was going to happen, and it hasn't. And they're fragmented, so they're taking at least 2 weeks, if not months, of medical leave, because the medical industry, whenever you have to hire staffing employees, those agencies basically charge you higher per wage. And if you're what the hospitals are doing is, the people that have experience and have that, they're getting cherry picked by these bigger companies. So they're saying, hey, look, we're gonna give you more money just to continue to comply with what we're saying that you have to bring down the pipe. And some of these people are like, you know what, we're just, because it showed a lot of older, third age nurses that they're like we can't. All we've done was serve with our heart, and now, you know, paper and pen is causing us to like break what is in our spirit to do.
They pushed the agenda, and now they starting to feel remorse because they helped further the agenda.
Yeah,
they're saying is that
especially the ones that know,
They
because
understand and overwork.
Yep.
yeah. And so all these people retired, and then these people who did retire were giving their opinions about what they were really seeing.
Yep.
And now their videos get deleted or pushed off the YouTube.
Woo! This
All right.
on 3 and 12. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees
Ooh.
with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. For everything that America's about, the Western mindset, from Western, that's part of the cup, Western medicine, Western politics, Western agenda, all that shit, the military, it's all through, man. It even goes to how the army is stretched thin, you know. Everything about this place is over with, man. They're policing, all right? They're out of it, man. They got to go to California and shit, try to get recruits. Right. They recruit Chicago Police Department's going to California to recruit. This place is over with, man. Everything that made America great, we see going down the drain. The U.S. dollar through, man.
And here's the reason why they keep having these orchestrated shootings on the television, because they know that they're getting ready to have rebellion and hard time with the people. They know that they're going, you know, as they push forth with their digital plan, that people are going to resist it. And so the reason why all of a sudden you go from disease to mass shooting. The disease thing didn't have the effect they wanted it to. It actually made people go out and buy more weapons.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So now now they're off that because they got that lurking in the background, so they can bring it back. All right. But now you got shooting, and then they're trying to act as if they care about children, and they don't. All right. You know, if you cared about children, there's a lot of things you wouldn't have, like the one veteran said, the statement I made earlier. But that's all so that they can push to take the firearms away from America, because now what they're saying is that we only want assault weapons, but now they're saying any handgun, any sidearm that has the capacity of firing more than 10 rounds is an assault weapon as well.
You know, it's a whole agenda, because Canada got loose. They had like some of the loosest gun laws, you know. But now, what's the nigga name?
Trudeau.
They putting strict gun laws in Canada now, man.
Yeah. So
at the same time this is happening in America,
yeah,
they doing it over there, man.
So we all know, we're all aware that the other nations, the European nations, and America's unused subsidiaries.
Yeah, subsidiaries.
The laws are always implemented upon them first before it's implemented in America. All right, so and then they also know that a lot of people are going to probably try to run to Canada. Yep. So they don't want to, and they also don't want Canada's joining the fight with Americans against, in case that ever happens.
They see what happened with the truckers.
That's a possibility that Americans and Canadians could join together against these oppressive powers that are breaking their own constitutions to rule over them.
Right.
And so they don't want that happening either. So they're all about disarmament, and you know, from Pol Pot to Hitler to, you know, I think they disarmed Poland and Germany in 1938, and then, you know, and we all know what so-called happened in 1939 after, you know. Right. So and what Pol Pot did when he disarmed the people, then 20 years later the Cambodian thing, what happened in Russia, every time it historically has proved that every time a population of people get disarmed with their defenseless against a tyrannical government, they don't have it. And matter of fact, the militias are written into the Constitution to help keep checks and balances, just like you have 3 branches of service, of government. But the executive branch of government is not being, the judicial branch of government is being overlooked because they're going straight, everything is going straight to executive now. Executive order. No, fuck the judicial, right? Executive. So it's basically America is operating from the executive branch of the government only, and the other branches of government aren't being used at all.
That's illegal.
And that's completely illegal. But like I said, Americans, they tend to bend over and lube themselves up. It's like, fuck it, we know they gonna give it to us. Let's go and lube yourself up. So Americans, right? So they bend over and take it, man. But you got other people in other nations, they ain't taking shit. They no, we keeping our manhood. We ain't bending over, homie.
Right.
It ain't happening.
Over the abortion thing, they ended up over the judges that are ruling over it. That's why they want to protect the judges, because they ended up protesting in front of the judges' houses because they were public. So that was just with the abortion. All these women went up in arms. None of them are pregnant. None of them got raped. But they want to decide that if in the future they make bad decisions.
Well, when I slut myself out, when I decide to go to the club and get banged by 2 or 3 dudes, when I go on one of them trips to Jamaica, all right, and I bang a whole nest of a Rasta man. When I go over there and rent me a couple Renta dreads, it's called Renta dread. It's called Renta dread. It's been operating for almost 50-something years, maybe even longer than that. All right, right. So right when they go to college and they get gang banged, whatever the case may be, all right, they want to defend their right to murder unborn babies. All right, so they ended up coming to judges' houses. How much more? Hey, look, the sword is Esau's blessing. That is, he got America and everything in the world with the sword. All right, that's why he's in the position that he's in. The Lord gave him that blessing. Somebody read it. It said, "By the sword thou shalt live." So what's that saying? No, did it say you're gonna live by hard work? No. Did it say you're gonna live by honest means? No. It said by the sword thou shalt live, which means you taking other people's shit. You find a clean body of water and some people living next to it. Here you come with the sword. This is my shit now. Right? They got horses and donkeys and sheep. All right.
Thank you.
And you come and you like, well now I got horses, donkeys, and sheep. All right. Exactly. It's my shit now.
What sheep?
Why is my shit? Because I got this sword, nigga, and you don't. Right. Okay, I guess you're right.
Right, Debo.
You know? Right. Esau been Debo the whole time that he got his blessing.
Yep. Genesis 27, 39. And Isaac his father answered, said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword thou shalt live, and thou shalt serve thy brother. It shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off thy neck.
It said have the what?
It said have the dominion.
The dominion. So they rule over it.
Yep.
And they take it by force. Take fields by force.
Hey, this is how Shai said, man. Them coming out but to still kill and destroy, man.
That's it.
You know?
It said the earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
And he knows no other way. Like Elder Malcolm used to say years ago. If you're a hammer, then everything looks like a nail.
Yeah. Right. Every problem is a nail. It's like, well, guess we got to beat that. What you got? What we got here? Let's see. Yeah, we got to beat that too. Right. If that's the only tool in your toolbox, all right.
Jeremiah said the hammer was cracked.
You know, and which goes to show you how full of shit Esau is, because, you know, not changing the script up, but how not only he uses the sword as a weapon, but he's also used, you know, iconoclasm, and one of his best weapons outside of iconoclasm has been wordplay. The whole what's the word? Newspeak. And legalese. And then they always talk about the pros and cons of things, and in law, cons is positive and cons is negative and pro is for. And the reason, and you know how we know that the word cons is when they say pros and cons, and that the word con is being misused in American, in the West, and in law. One simple word. construction.
Mm-hmm.
Construction, you're building things. You're not. It's not negative.
Right.
So right. So how do you construct something, but construction is negative? See, they caught in lies, man. And that's what I do. Right. The Lord, man. These people are just fucking liars, man. Somebody give me I brought it out today. Give me Job 13:4, and I'm still waiting for that Isaiah 24.
I got you.
Bible shot.
This is the book of Isaiah.
No, let me get to Job first, and then we're gonna bring that.
Job 13:4.
Right.
It says, "For ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value."
Right, they're forgers of lies, man. So they pseudoscience, they lies, you know, with all this other, you know, with dealing with medical shit. And like I said, that one word construction is the evidence that the word that kind and doesn't mean negative, because there's nothing negative about building something up.
Con means together.
All right,
Yeah,
but what they'll tell you that con is
Right.
negative,
That's
because they give you the pros and
Yeah.
cons of something. This is the what is
Positive and negative.
right, and
Oh,
see, so that's new speak. That's them twisting. That comes from legalese. These people are fucking liars, man.
Got scripture.
All right, go ahead, bring it out, brother.
This is Psalms 82:5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. They use language as a weapon. They turn it, make it not mean what it's.
They weaponize everything.
Everything. Everything.
They weaponize everything. Food, your women, your children. You know, this $15 billion year Ponzi scheme that they got going on. Right. That Title 4D child support, that is the jewel of the court. You know that is the number one money maker in the American outside of weapon sales. There's nothing even it even makes more money than the medical industry.
Yeah, that's funny,
Right?
It's funny.
And it's all anti-constitutional. It's all unlawful. It's fraudulent. It's never even enacted into positive law. Therefore, it isn't even. So they're enforcing something that's not even real law, but they're enforcing it. All right, illegally.
That's like a stripper that's being told to shake her money maker. They shaking that damn thing.
And then they hide, and then they use the sensitive subject of children like it's for the children.
Right.
All right, and it's not. It tells you in their own bylaws that it was never intended for the children. It was intended to fund the state treasuries. It says it in their own shit.
Shake that money maker.
All right, so these people are complete liars, man, in everything that they do.
I thought it was such
Right.
a conspiracy.
You're right. You're getting bombarded with lies every time you turn on Fox, CNN, ABC, NBC, CSPN, or whatever the fuck it is. All you getting is complete and total lies.
Propaganda.
All right, propaganda. Every time you get a Sun Times or a Tribune, all right, whatever you just getting, you're not getting news. What you're getting is you get dictated to. You get dictation of lies, so that they can form the minds of the people. And if I already know what you're thinking, then it's easy for me to make decisions.
You know, and it's funny that you said it because, like you said, newspapers back little kids, they had different stories. Everybody.
You had what they call something called independent journalism.
Exactly.
And you don't have that anymore.
Exactly.
We've all seen the evidence of the videos where they'll play, you know, one video that plays in every small town all across America, and all the journalists all say the same exact thing,
Exactly.
which means they all got the same facts. They all got the same programming.
Yeah.
All right, it ain't no going out like we used to watch the movies when we were shorties.
Right.
You know, they would show you the reporters in the 70s and the 80s
Right.
going out getting the story, risking their lives. Competing against each other, trying to. The matter of fact, that was the whole Peter Parker thing.
Exactly.
The story of Spider-Man. He was always trying to get the story, trying to beat. What was his name? Jonah Jameson.
Right.
He was always, I need the story. So these journalists were going out, driving around, riding buses, getting on planes, trying to get the exclusive before anybody else gets it, so they can come back. But now they just get a printout. Okay, and then they just read what they're told to read, and You dumb fucking Americans can't see that, man. You Americans are some of the dumbest motherfuckers on the face of the earth. Excuse my French, not.
Right.
And you notice, like, old people say they weak in the spirit. They watch the news all goddamn
Yes, they
day.
do, and they believe whatever it says.
Yeah.
All right?
But no, that's good stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to precept that Job, because I was in Job the other night about how they fallen, and I had that Job 6:21, and it reads, "For now ye are nothing, ye see my casting down, and are afraid. Did I say, bring unto me, or give a reward for me of your substance?" So
Pay
that's
up.
them. They scared now. They see the Lord is bringing them down. You know, that's that casting down. He revealing Esau for what he really is, and that's nothing, man.
Baba Shah, speed it up, Lord. That's a beautiful scripture. It's a perfect time to bring out the precept. Bring it out, brother.
God, this is Isaiah 24:10. It says, "The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And the city is left desolation. And the gate is smitten with destruction."
And they keep talking about these mass exodus from these major cities, and Chicago is one of them. And the people that left Chicago were the wealthiest Chicagoans. All right? The broke people ain't going nowhere. But the wealthiest, they're gone. Go ahead.
It says, "When thus it shall be in the midst of the land."
And Salakia, and a lot of them took jobs with them because a lot of those wealthy,
Company on.
right? A lot of the small businesses, which and the majority of the middle class, because it's called the death of the middle class, worked in the small business and the private business sector. All right, so a lot of these wealthy Chicagoans, New Yorkers, you know, and different ones in California, they all left those places and then they took those jobs with them. All right, and now they're relocating to Texas and to Florida. But here's the problem, though: America's one big body. So all you're doing is that you're leaving the right arm is full of cancer, so you're just gonna move the left arm, so you're just gonna move to the right arm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's all gonna come down anyway. But continue, brother. Right.
Verse 11, it says, "They shall lift up the voice," verse 14, Salakia, 13. "When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree, and the gleaning grapes when the vintage is done. Then they shall lift up their voice, they shall sing for the majesty of Yahweh, they shall cry aloud from the sea, wherefore glorify ye Yahweh in the fires."
That's the remnant. You know?
Right. We glorify. That's the remnant, brother. We glorifying in the fires and the destruction when everybody else is lamenting. Go ahead.
"Even the name of Yahweh, power of Israel, in the isles of the sea. From the utmost part of the earth have we heard songs, even glory to the righteous. But I said, my leanness, woe unto me. The treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously. Yeah, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitant of the earth."
Yes. So now somebody can get the precept when they have done it ceased to deal treacherously. So it's all coming. We'll bring up what you got, Pops.
This is Sirach 6:4. "A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies."
There you go.
So as we see all this happening to Esau, we're like, yeah, run that. Let that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because what's happening is the Lord is giving them a not so slow death anymore. You know, that's a saying that my son would always say when he would get mad, man, fuck you, die slow, nigga. And that's but even though not really, they dying fast. But it's beautiful because we're watching that slow death, but not so really slow anymore.
But we get to laugh.
Of Esau, it can't.
We get to laugh at. It's like, oh, wait, where's your pomp and circumstance now? Where is your glee at? Are you happy? Aren't you happy
Pull
now?
yourself up by
Right.
yourself.
Yeah, pull
man.
yourself up
And
by your
when you look in the
bootstraps.
faces of Edomites, man, you know, they not so cheerful like they were before.
Bro, 15
Like-
years ago on the world stage, America wouldn't allow none of the shit that little ass Philippines talking shit.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow this shit, man.
That's
These other countries, Brazil just joining up with. This is in America's backyard. Brazil joining up with fucking. They wouldn't allow. Look what they did to Cuba. All right, they would have fucked Brazil up, man. They would have sanctioned the fuck out that place. They would
Shut
have
it
no
down.
money coming in.
Shut it all
They would have
down.
figured something out, man. Now they just taking it.
Yeah, but now exactly because they know if they go fuck with Brazil,
Brick, that's part of the bricks.
right? They got
Oh,
problems.
like bricks.
You know,
You want that Isaiah?
he just read it, brother.
Oh,
No, I'm
sorry.
talking about 33 and 1.
33:1.
Oh yeah, come, Salaki.
Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee.
Cause see now Esau trying to be everybody's friend. You know, you see that I'm in the store and you know I bought a pair of socks, and I turned the corner and there was an Edomite woman standing right in front of me with some low cut cleavage, and I wasn't looking at her. I was looking at her breasts. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't give a fuck about her. I saw them great big old things, and then she looked at me and she kind of gave me that half-ass smile, and I was like hi. But even when I said hi, I wasn't saying hi to her. I was saying hi to the girl. And I just kept it moving. But when I looked up at her face, it was like exactly what I just said. It was a half-ass. They done, man, and they know they done. All right, because in the past, you know, it was
Right.
like fuck it.
Here, maybe you
Right.
want them.
You know.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I didn't want them. They were right there. They were right in front of me.
Right.
You came outside like that.
That's
All right.
Right.
I turned the corner and bam.
Who
You
wouldn't
know?
admire some ornaments?
Right.
Exactly. They were right in your face too.
Twin Peaks. Alright, it says, when thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
Yes. Oh, you're right. Because guess what? Like the scripture says in Joel, we're gonna buy and we're gonna sell and trade your children. We're gonna sell your children to the Sabians. And matter of fact, get that in Joel. I think it's like 3 and 9, Baba Bashar.
It was funny you say that because, like I said, this Edomite.
Call Halal Yahweh Shema Bashar.
Okay.
Only man, come on, man. You can't.
Go ahead.
One body, man. He had it already.
All right.
Why would he have that?
Exactly.
It's Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
And that's what's happening right now, man. All right, because Syria then activated up again because Turkey went into Syria, and Turkey is basically a renegade within NATO and not agreeing with NATO. So NATO is fractured. NATO is not moving together as one unit. But go ahead.
The verse of the knock one is verse 8, so start at 7. You go under.
This is Joel 3 and 7. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own heads.
And that's happening now. The fact that we know who we are, and the fact that we're on the airwaves of their system, condemning them to their faces. All right, on a daily basis, continually, nonstop, worldwide, man. Mexico, you know, in Europe, in America, in the Caribbeans, you know, up in Canada, right, around the world, man. All right, they get bombarded day and night, and you can see these videos in any language, even though they try to shadow ban them and all, you know. They shadow ban the fuck. You know, I created a new channel that Critical Race Theory 2. They shadow ban the shit out that channel, man. But you know, it's okay. Because the people who need to see it gonna see it. But go ahead, brother.
Verse 8, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off.
Right. So we about to throw your red ass on the cargo slave ships in the back of horse and buggies and just and trot your ass all over the place, man. Right? We gonna send your daughter this way, your son this way, your wife this way. We did all the shit you did to us. We gonna do it to you double, man. All right.
Yeah. And when we get done, we gonna hit you over the head and throw you down in the pit.
You know? Life is about to get real bad when it's all over, man. Life is gonna get. Matter of fact, life is really bad for you Edomites. But guess what? It's gonna get much worse.
That's it.
It's gonna get much worse before it becomes nightmarish. Right? So it's gonna right. So you're gonna. It's gonna be unlivable. You're gonna have unlivable, miserable existence, and then after that miserable, unlivable existence, then you're gonna have a nightmarish existence, and that's what's coming to you if you're a so-called white person. And matter of fact, you are the heathens for a period of time as well, man.
Exactly.
All you who prescribe unto them and help them suppress and oppress us and hide our history, right? Because all you heathens knew who the hell we were, but none of y'all spoke up for us.
Ishmael.
Right now, all of a sudden, you know, it's funny how Ishmael, especially, his videos keep surfacing of Ishmael admitting, and you know, but you know, where were you at in the past though?
Right.
All right. Now it's like now that you see that Esau is falling, you know, all of a sudden you want to speak up now.
You want to jump ship.
You know, like a lot of these Edomites, they want to speak up now. You know, because you got a ton of Edomites out there that are admitting to this evidence, to the evidence of this truth that we speak. But where were you at, you know, 15, 30, 40, 50 years ago?
Now you trying to throw us falafel.
Well, know what? It's funny you say that though. Like when a big ship goes down and whatnot, you know, if you in that wake, when that ship goes down, it'll draw your ass down with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck you, Ishmael. You showed Esau the whole slave trade paths. You had the port set up already, and then you sold them the ships.
Yeah.
Ishmael is the second nigga listed in Psalms 83 right after Edom. Fuck you, Ishmael. All right, without you, Esau wouldn't have had the waterways. And
You showed them the way.
Yeah, he showed them the way.
So guess what? When the boot is not to Esau's ass, it's gonna be to your ass. All right, and guess what? We like your women.
That's
right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your women like us too. They just been scared because of you. All right,
They
they ain't gonna have no fear of you very soon, man.
That's it.
You know.
Harry Halal.
For the Lord has spoken it. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
And that's what's happening, man. And guess what? What's the little chick that was always in the little Lebanese chick that was always in the BBC videos?
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Little hot chick. Yeah. Hey, look, all your women gonna be Mia Khalifa. All right? Yeah. All your women gonna be Mia Khalifa, man. Because guess what? Many of them already are. That's why they here in America. All right.
It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord.
Yeah, because Ishmael, guess what? We better than you too, man.
Oh yeah.
Right? We better than you in every way, man. We got more meat than you. All right? We better than you too. All right? You didn't run around with your peaceable religion while putting hell on our people, especially.
That's it.
All right? Who did you no wrong? We ain't done you no wrong, man. All right? But guess what? You gonna get it.
Yep, they knew the whole time they Ishmael and we the seed of Isaac. And y'all never said shit. Y'all allowed us to be called niggas. Hell, y'all and Ishmael help and love nigga culture. They love
He
that
made
nigga culture.
money off of it too.
Look at DJ Khaled. That man does not make beats. He does not rap. He funds these niggas and get paid off of it.
Yeah, he does.
He's a fucking heathen with no rhythm. Watch the man dance. He's a true Ishmaelite.
Yeah, he truly is.
Alright? And he just gets paid off of niggas.
And saying, we the best.
That's it. Another one.
Right.
Right, and another one. I'm on my way to the bank, niggas.
Right. Got funded another one of you niggas.
That's it.
We the
But
best.
he made his ass look like a goofy begging Nicki Minaj. And she she put his ass down. All right.
You ain't us.
Yeah, he did a whole video where he was begging her to marry him publicly.
And she ain't. You
And
ain't
she
us.
was like, "No, nigga, nobody wants you."
Enough meat.
That was program.
Right, that's what it came out. It's like, nah, she didn't want no camel meat. She wanted beef, nigga.
Camel hump.
Verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Con, right? Get it together, brother. Read that again, Papa Shot.
Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Right, because why? Because of the controversy of Zion, man.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So the whole world gonna have to admit what they already know to be true. That we are Hosea 1 and 12 and Romans 9 and 26.
And that proves that Edom ain't been done away with, because that lines up with Obadiah. That lines up with Isaiah the 34th chapter. When you read Isaiah 34, real quick, can I hit this first verse?
Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 34 and verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear and all that is therein, the world, all things that come forth of it. I got to read two as well. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. And when you go down to it, like verse 5, it says, my sword be bathed in heaven, it shall come down upon Idumea, which is Edom. So the Lord mentions his world judgment. Edom is always part of it. The book of Obadiah is written to Edom. But when you get to about verse 17, it goes into all the heathens being judged, man.
Yep.
So right there, this Jehoshaphat is for Edom getting the greatest destruction. All right, but all the heathens go down together, man.
That's right.
Edom ain't went nowhere. Edom is our last captor. So the so-called, look, no matter how you look at it, well, you can't just go by skin color. Look, we ain't got to go by skin color. The prophecies say what they say.
That's
Edom
right.
is a so-called white man. And he's got to be destroyed, man. Look, who else did this to the fucking planet? We was in Babylon. We didn't get our heritage erased. We were in Persia. We didn't get our heritage erased. But when you get down to Greece, what they start doing? It's unlawful to call yourself a Jew. It's unlawful to get circumcised.
That's right.
They put their images. They said, let's put our images in there, man. Fuck that, not these niggas. We're
Yeah.
gonna put our shit in their books.
That's right.
And it kept getting worse and worse from
Yeah.
Greece to Rome to now here Rome 2.0, man. The beast whose deadly wound was healed, man.
That's right.
Alright? You gotta you fucking heathens follow this devil. Y'all help hide who the fuck we are, man.
Yep.
Y'all all gotta go down with him, man.
That's right.
And then I fucking hate Ishmael, man.
Yeah, and then, right.
I work.
And guess what? Until when Esau wasn't in power, you could go up to any body of water that was fresh and drink from it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You could eat the fish out of
Fresh water.
You
Fresh
know?
water you could.
Yeah, you know, the fresh water, right?
Yeah.
Any body of water you went to, you could actually use for your body, man. You can't wash clean or bathe or take care of yourself. And some of these body waters are so polluted you can't even put your body in it.
Mississippi River.
All right.
Yeah.
Once the praise of America I cut through, go straight north and south.
Yeah.
Now it's a
Buckman.
disgrace.
It is.
You don't even want to put your boat in there, man. It made the acid.
It start deteriorating you in the water all of a sudden. Oh shit.
Hey, I was telling you about that one when I was coming home over there by 79th, way out there in the LaGrange Road Summit, and how that motherfucking shit smell out there and whatnot by that.
The
by
little
that
rivers.
that's man. Don't do it.
Hey, he that destroyed the earth, man.
Yeah, man.
Right.
That's why they tell you.
And
four
Gad
rights.
was through here living well, man.
Yep.
Yep.
You know. As a
That's
matter of
it.
fact, what do you call it? Iroquois Landing. We cross it every time we going back to my house. I ain't seen no Iroquois there yet.
No shit.
I ain't seen one Iroquois yet. But it's Iroquois. We come off that's Iroquois Landing, right? And the river, the Calumet River, is right by there, man. All right, because all these river systems all
Connected.
throughout Chicago, Gad was using them to travel, hunt, fish, and do what they do, and then they could drink from that water.
Yep.
All right, you could go to that water and put your hand in, and you could actually drink it. You know, and you do that now.
Hey.
You be lucky if you make it through the night.
And what he say? Well, you mad at the water?
You gonna be in the well, that's one of the reasons why the Lord gonna destroy it all and burn it up and clean it up.
And dry it all up.
Because you gotta cleanse it because it's gonna be it's unlivable, it's defiled, man.
That's right. Well,
All
you
right.
mad at the water. Wow.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures talk about that new city, and it talks about how New Jerusalem coming down from God out of heaven after the
Rejuvenation.
The renovation of the earth by fire.
Right.
Because
Cleansing.
because fire is a cleansing agent, and it's gonna cleanse, all right, everything.
Yeah. Burn all them impurities out of the air, and all them satellites and everything that's sitting up there. All that shit gotta come down. Ain't no looking up there and Esau.
Yeah, all that trash.
Esau trash still floating
How
around.
you gonna trash Leo?
Right.
Right? Leo is completely, that's lower Earth orbit for anyone who doesn't know, right? Which Esau can't go past according to their own science,
Right.
right? But Leo is cluttered with trash, right? How the fuck you pollute space?
Well, it says the wicked shall do wickedly. You know, the wicked, they find out, you know, it says they search out a diligent search.
Yep.
How to do this shit.
Right, and ultimately they're totally out of balance, and they're totally in opposition of the Most High's righteousness. So they figure out how to mess up. Hey, he cometh not but for to kill, steal, and destroy.
And then the devil talking about he can't do it no fucking way. Then he talking about he want to colonize Mars, and he constantly find Earth-like planets every day. You ain't going nowhere, Esau.
You can't get past the
You
radiation.
stand right here on the third rock from the sun, getting a foot in your ass, man.
Hey,
So not the third rock sun, but you stand on planet Earth, man, getting a foot in your ass.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Understood.
Okay.
We are. But this is the third rock from the sun, so.
Right, you stand right here on the third rock of the sun with the 3 foot in your ass. Our left and right foot and our boot up your ass crack.
And bison style, man.
Bison
Same
style.
time.
Damn.
Right.
Okay.
Ain't gonna be no reading on Mars, US Today, and Pepsi on Mars. You don't be none of this shit, man. Alright, hey man, the Israelites gonna be on Mars, man. Alright, only the Israelites, man. Alright? Only time gonna be on Mars and you sweeping the trash up, you sweeping the ground, man.
Yeah, it's not gonna. Yeah, you Edomites. I doubt if you're gonna get to go to the other planets.
Oh no, they're gonna get burned off
Right,
for 1,000 years.
because you're gonna be working, you know, and and then matter of fact, thinking about it, 1 Corinthians 15th chapter proves it, because you got to be changed to go past Leo, to go up into the chariots and go, and so you can't, you won't live through that, man.
Hey.
Like you said, Yahweh Ratazah, I'm gonna bright burn a lot of you, man. I'm gonna fly you up to Leo and let you go.
Hey.
All right, or fly you up to Leo and just watch you suffocate and die. All right, let your body fall back to earth, man.
Hey.
All right.
What it say? When he set up this so-called Social Security system, that they set it at 65 because they thought the life expectancy was 55. Life expectancy gonna be 35. When you gonna work so much, you gonna be dying.
Yeah, but they gonna rotate back real fast.
Right.
They're gonna rotate right back. Yeah, because that matter of fact, as a matter of fact, in Haiti, and in Cuba, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Cuba too. They would. Why do you think the Levites rebelled, man? Haiti rebelled, and did the righteous thing by killing all their oppressors and taking over the island that they were on. But the life expectancy on those sugar plantations in Haiti was for the slave was 3 years, man.
No.
So you 20 years old, muscular. You know how strong we were back then.
Correct.
How strong back. Every generation we get weaker. So we can only imagine how strong our men were 300 years ago, 400 years ago, man. And so these people were dying in 3 years. You know, healthy man, big, strong, muscle-bound man with all his teeth is just broken down and withered to where
3
he
years.
just dies in 3 years' time.
Yep.
You know, they were working our people to death, man.
Yeah.
Go
You
ahead.
know that guy that be on Sunday, he called himself apostle. He said his
Wait, Sarnetta's called himself an apostle?
no, he had a guy on there called himself
Oh, okay.
apostle. He said one of his, I think his third great grandfather was 50 years old, and he looked like he's fucking 90, man. Put all that Esau working the fucking
Well,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta pay for that shit, Esau.
That's it. Period.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and Spirit's winding down. Let's get Galatians 6 and 7, Colossians 3 and 25, and Revelation 18 and 6, and we'll wrap it up.
We got Colossians.
Galatians 6 and 7, yeah.
Galatians 6 and 7, and it reads, Be not deceived, the Most High God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right. So when we speak about these vile but righteous things that are going to be done to the heathens and Esau,
Right.
it's scriptural. We're not speaking because we're a bunch of angry men, even though we are angry men. But we're not just saying it. We're saying it because it's scripture, because it's true. Right. Next scripture.
I'll get to Colossians chapter 3, verse 25. It says, But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of person.
There's no respect of persons, man. All right, there's a couple on the comment board too. Brothers is pouring them in. Somebody get Zechariah 1 and 15, and of course Revelation 13 and 10. All right, and Dewar got him put Exodus 4 and 8 up here a couple times, so let's go ahead and read that before we read those.
With that Zechariah.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Zechariah 1 and 15, and I'm very, very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction.
Yeah, they help forward the affliction. I'll read Exodus 4 and 8. I got you, brother. This is Exodus 4 and 8, and it reads, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, and that goes on. It tells you strike for strike, fire for fire. Life life for life. They're gonna get it, man. All right. The laws were never done away with, so they gotta keep it going. Exodus 21 and 25, burning for burning, wound for wound, strike for strike. That's right, brother. All right. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this Revelation 13 and 10. And this is one of my favorite scriptures. Should be one of everybody's favorite. All right. It says, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
That's
He
right.
that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints." So the saints are patiently and faithfully waiting, suffering, and faithfully waiting to kill with the sword those who killed them, and to put into slavery those who put them in slavery.
That's right.
All right? Proving who the saints are. Okay? What was that other one I called for?
Revelation 18.
Baba Kashab. We'll get that one.
I got it. Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works.
So that's whipping for whipping, eye for eye, spit in the face for spit in the face. All right, anything that's not breaking the law, like adultery, going, or anything that we're not breaking the law,
Well,
they gonna get it, man.
actually, when you own slaves, you read the law. You own that woman as well. It's not adultery.
Yeah, well, there you go. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, and it says, in the cup which she had filled to her double. You want me to go down to 17?
No, that's it, brother.
Okay.
So in that cup filled to them double, man. So yeah, it's gonna be real bad. The day is very near upon the world when it's gonna be a very bad thing to be a so-called white man, or woman for that matter. All right.
Yeah.
So with that, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach Kadash,
Wa Abba Ball.
Abba Babal.
Bob the ball.
Y'all better start working out.
Put those
We use you
machines
for slave.
We gonna be here with the Superman cage.
Yeah, you're right. We own a slave too.
Yeah.
So when you come, when you out there working, and I see your wife with that fat ass,
It's good to be the king.
Right. You already know.
It's good to
Go
be
give
the
me some
king.
little milk.
Yes, sir, brother.
That ain't your wife, that's my slave.
My slave.
Huh?
It's my wank.
Wouldn't that be this man's law?
What be this man's law?
Let me
That right
take
there.
this. I'm kind of short.
Please, please.
No, I'm talking about what the law say in the Bible.
If you did, and then in the short, if you do,
Nah,
let us know.
This
brother.
own that.
You on the
You
beach.
own them.
Yeah.
And them
Okay.
wolves.
Yeah, like look, even what this
I you know, Slacky, hold on a second. Shemai, real quick. Shemai. Let's just say, you know.
well, just turn your whole computer
Yes, I'm
off.
saying just unplug it, brother. Shut it down. Let Satan. You still hear me too, Yak, right? Yeah, they, man. Now, we don't want our video to be deleted. They delete it. We don't want. We
No, we
want it
don't
right.
want to hear
Exactly.
Someone want to shut it down. There you go. Like, and I said,
Power it down, shut it on.
I'm working on it too, brother. I'm working on
It's,
it. Brother.
it's still live.
Yes, it's still
You
coming up.
have got to be kidding me.
And you saw me. I
Hold the power.
Wow, that's it.